Welcome back to another video. Um, this video is gonna be, it's not gonna be a run or an event or anything. It's just gonna be an update on the i20. Um, Nothing has really been done to it, but the reason I haven't made this video yet is because every time I want to do something, then something else sort of goes wrong. So over here you can see that the spare wheel is on, and then I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, there's like scratches underneath the bumper. So the reason for that is actually no, before we get into that, so the clutch on the i20 gave in. That was the first issue. After that, so when we had the clutch done, I think the mechanic made a mistake or something, and obviously the left side wheel is the driving wheel, or the more dominant one, or I don't know, I'm not super intelligent when it comes to this stuff, but like I don't know, the mechanic didn't put the wheel on right, and then the studs started to break. So the first stud broke, and I actually have that one. So over here you can see this is the first stud that broke off. I kept it just for this video to show you guys, and it's sort of memorabilia, so I keep it in the car. But yeah, it was clean broken off, and then the second one popped off while I was driving, and then the third one popped off like 5 minutes after that, and I actually heard it break. So when I got to work that morning, I checked it out and I saw, okay, there are 3 studs missing now. Usually you can drive with, if you have 3, obviously it's not recommended or it's not entirely safe, but it is possible. But yeah, so now I was missing 3 and I only had 1, so I phoned my dad. I told him, okay, we need to get the car home because there's no way I'm gonna drive it like this. So he came to work, and then he was gonna leave, or he came to fetch the car, and then when he left, or when he was going to leave, that last stud, did it break? No. The wheel sort of like collapsed, because obviously there's only one stud in, or one bolt, or whatever you want to call it. So we called a tow truck to put the car on a flatbed, or actually a tow truck, but then we ended up getting a flatbed, because the guy didn't mention like what vehicle he had. We only knew that he was like a towing flatbed person or whatever. So yeah, that guy was sort of why there were scratches on the front bumper, and when he was pulling the car onto the onto the flatbed, then the last stud broke, and obviously the car collapsed to the one side, and then he still kept on pulling this car onto like the flatbed, even though like we're missing a wheel. And we asked him like, look here, do you know what you're doing? Like, shouldn't we get someone else? But in all honesty, I'm not trying to badmouth anyone. I'm just telling the story how I know it. He seemed like he was just there to do the job and get the money, and not worry about how he does the job. So yeah, ended up like scraping the whole front end of the car. I thought there might be suspension damage or anything, but the car seems to be fine now. So that same day, while my father was at home after the guy dropped the car, he changed the studs, and that was sort of sorted. But since then, I've had the spare wheel on, because the valve on the wheel, I don't have the valve anymore. I kept it, but I don't know where it is now. So the valve where you pump the air in or whatever, tore, which was the second or third time that it happened. So yeah, I haven't put on the normal wheel yet, or I haven't taken the spare wheel off yet, just because I want to avoid that happening again. But in today's video we are going to put the spare wheel on, and then we also got a request from a viewer that asked if you can give a tutorial on how to put the air intake on, the cold air intake on. So we're gonna take it off, give it a blowout so it can like get clean and stuff, and I want to check one thing, but it's nothing big. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so one thing I forgot to mention was that I actually done one of the things that were on my list of things that I wanted to do on this car before I actually start doing any, not serious mods, but like just doing more fun things. But yeah, so, and it's nothing big, but it's just I replaced the boot shocks, which the old ones were like worn down and like they didn't hold the boot up. These ones are quite stable. They're actually a bit like too resistant, but I like it because at least now my boot can stay open while I'm doing things like getting the jack out. Okay, I don't know if you saw in the clip, but it started to rain. Can you see that? Yeah. So got my father to help me put the wheel back on, and I'm gonna go inside until it stops raining, and then I'm gonna see what I can do about the intake. But yeah, here's the wheel back on. Okay, so the rain stopped as I moved the car. But yeah, this is the cone filter. I'm gonna take it off now. I'm gonna give it not a vacuum, a blow out, whatever you wanna call it. My friend Max said that you're not supposed to get them wet, so I'm not gonna use a hose pipe. Yeah, I'm gonna see what I can do about it, and then I'm gonna take it off quickly. All you need to take it off is like one star-head screwdriver that will fit that, and then should be good. I'll show the stock one, and then I'll put the stock one on so you can see, and we can get a sound comparison, how it changes the sound or whatever. And yeah. Ow. Yeah, this is all it is. As you can see, I got one that like fits straight onto the normal tubing, piping, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, there's some dirt in there. Okay, so this is the stock one. Filter goes in like that. Simple, just put this in. There are clips and shit over here that you loosen or whatever when you're taking it off. Shit. Okay, so that's in properly. Gonna give it a start, a couple revs just so you can hear. That's basically the only thing I've done to the car besides take the middle box out. And obviously now I replaced the clutch because it broke. That's not really a modification. It's not a racing clutch or button clutch or whatever. It's just a normal clutch to the extent of my knowledge. But yeah, let's get the car started so you can hear. Okay, so clip over here, clip over there, and then there's just some things that you have to line up here, and then there's another one at the back. So it's like nothing special. I mean, there's supposed to be a clamp like that there, but the Hyundai one was like a one-use thing. I think they like welded it or something, so I couldn't use that one again. But if I do decide to put the stock one back on, then I'll probably just use this one, this clamp thing. And then yeah, so I'm gonna put the OG one back on, not OG, the aftermarket one back on. And then yeah, and then when you put in this one on, you just have to squeeze this tube pipe thing into there and then tighten this down with a star screwdriver or whatever other tools are applicable. But yeah. And that is all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, then leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.